Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is my drugstore foundation routine. So everything on my face is done with drugstore makeup. And I'm a huge believer, I'm eating my hair. I'm a huge believer in drugstore makeup being just as good as high-end makeup. I will say that there are some products out there that are worth that much money, but there's definitely some really great items in the drugstore too. You just have to kind of pick through them and find what works for you. Watch YouTube videos. That's kind of how I find my favorite products from the drugstore, because then they can try it out for me and I don't have to waste my money on it. In this video I'm just going to show you my updated foundation slash contour routine and kind of just explain my techniques and the products as I go through this video. So if you guys want to see how I got my foundation like this and my contour, then please keep watching. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. So before I ever do any foundation look, I always moisturize my face. So go ahead and grab whatever moisturizer you're using at the moment and moisturize that face. Get it good and ready for the foundation. And of course, the next step is to prime the face. I'm using Winky Luxe Whipped Primer. And this stuff is so cool. You can get it from Forever 21 and it looks like a whipped topping. It's super cool. So I just apply this all over my face with my hands, and this will help blur out our pores and just have a really nice base for the foundation to glide across. Alright, moving on to foundation, I'll be using the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Foundation. This stuff is really great. It's really comparable to a high-end foundation. It has great coverage. This one's just like a tad too dark for me, but we'll make it work with the highlighting and contouring later on. So I dot this all over my face, then I go through and blend it out with a brush at first, and then I go back in to make sure things are really flawless and blend everything out with a beauty blender. And I definitely don't use a beauty blender every single day because that just takes way too much time. I pretty much only do that for special occasions or if I really want to look flawless. I think the biggest tip that I have about applying foundation is to bring it all the way down the neck. I cannot tell you how many people I see on the streets with just foundation like right up to their jawbone, and then the rest of their skin is like imperfect. Even if it matches perfect, you can tell. So always bring it down the neck. That'll help it look like your skin just perfected, not like you're wearing foundation. My all-time favorite concealer from the drugstore is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the shade Ivory. This is a beautiful color. It has a bit of a pink undertone, so I apply that underneath my eyes, a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my chin, and I go back through and I blend it out with a damp beauty blender. And as I mentioned, I don't always use a beauty blender because I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to go get it damp and like come back and use it. So when I don't feel like using my beauty blender, I just use my fingers. But when I'm going all out, I stop being lazy and I use my beauty blender. So since we're going all out today, I'm doing a little bit of a cream contour. I'm using, once again, LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this one's in the shade Beautiful Bronze. I'm applying that to the hollows of my cheeks, my forehead, my jaw, and a little bit on my nose. I do a little nose contour. And then I just go through and blend that out. Now I don't do a cream contour every day either. I think that I'm way too lazy for this, and I do have like an everyday makeup routine for you guys, but this video specifically is like if I'm trying to be snazzy and I just want to look my best. This is what I would typically do, but on a day-to-day basis, I do not do this. After I'm done blending out my contour, I go back through and I just tap out my under eye concealer to make sure we get rid of any creases. Now I'm going to go through with a translucent setting powder and set those under eyes to avoid creasing. And I don't have a drugstore setting powder that I love yet, so if you guys have any recommendations, please let me know. This one's by Nye, and I know I cheated, it's not by the drugstore, so please let me know what you like. Oh yeah, and that's my boyfriend just walking in, and that is me yelling at him to tell him to get out because I'm filming. Now for those of you who have been following me for a while, this product is a throwback. This is the Black Radiance Rich Mahogany Bronzer. I'm just going to apply this all over the places where I applied the cream contour just to help set it and deepen that contour a little bit. Now this product isn't even a bronzer at all, it's actually a deeper skin tones powder foundation. It's really amazing, it blends out really nicely, super creamy, and I love the one in Rich Mahogany. It's definitely my favorite. So I think that somebody who has a deeper skin tone would love it as a foundation, or somebody with a lighter skin tone would love it as a contour shade. It's super cheap. Then I just go back through with a clean, fluffy brush and just blend everything out, make sure everything melds really nicely. Next up, we're going to apply some blush. This is Heather Silk by Wet n Wild, and it is just a beautiful shade, and yes, my packaging is super janky. I've had it for quite a while. I don't know if it's still good anymore, but we're using it today. I'm just applying this to the apples of my cheek, and it's just a beautiful, rich pink shade. Gives some life back to the look. And last but not least, we're going to add some highlight. I'm using the Carly Bybel palette, and I know that this isn't necessarily a drugstore product, but you can get it in Ulta in the drugstore section, so it's super affordable. Anything affordable is kind of what I consider drugstore. So I'm going to apply these shades to the upper points of my cheeks, a little bit on my nose, and sometimes a little bit on my upper lip too. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So that's it for this video. I hope it helps some of you guys out who are kind of looking for new drugstore products to try. These are definitely my favorite products, so I highly recommend them. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please subscribe to it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!